Hey guys, today's case might be the worst case we've ever covered. By worst, I mean one of the hardest, most disturbing cases. And that's saying something because we've done some tough ones. I've cried on this podcast a few times, and today might have taken the cake. So today's case is the case of Shanda Shear, a 12-year-old girl who was murdered by a group of her peers. They posed as friends of a friend and invited her for a night out, and all along it had been decided that it was going to be the last night of Shanda's life. You know, a teenage love triangle turned murder. Just senseless. Every case we do is senseless, but my God, this one's next level. So stay tuned to find out more about Shanda's short life. Hi!
Hey!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Two Peas in a Crime Pod.
Episode
48.
48.
We want to start off by saying that we're very sorry we missed 2 episodes because life happened to the both of us. Mom said she was going to take the blame, but I feel just as fucking responsible as she is. We both had absolutely insane weeks. I had finals.
I mean, she was okay to take the time off because she did have finals, but she would have came. She would have showed up.
I was looking for any excuse to not have to do my schoolwork. So yeah, I was in it. Technically, I would have still filmed, but Mom had
I texted her. I was like, I'm having a mental breakdown. And I couldn't quit crying all day. And I knew my eyes were just going to be puffy and red for our day that we're going to do the podcast. And I was like, we got to reschedule. And then we couldn't reschedule because it was like having to do 8 episodes or...
It was a lot. She was like, I'm still fucking editing the last ones, and I haven't finalized
I don't think I'll ever
scripts.
catch up, and it's causing me stress and anxiety. I think we're just going to have to drop a couple.
I was like, that's more than fine, because I can't even offer to help you edit because I do have my finals. And the way that we schedule our filming and our recording, if we know we're recording here and here and here and doing this, then that means I had my doctor's appointment scheduled around that. And I had my grandma's doctor's appointment scheduled around that. And I had final time to take my test scheduled. So when she was like, well, can we move it to this day? And I was like, well, then I have 4 other things to move. And one's an appointment that I can't. It just became...
It was just too much. So we apologize. We hope we didn't let you down. We try not to do that. It just, every once in a while, to be honest, I found out what my problem was. Because I remember you asked me, you were like, did you change your other medicine? Because I've been on this diet and I've lowered all of my diabetes medications have come down, like my insulin, everything has come down. And I was having this meltdown.
I said, hey, Mom, with love and respect and care and concern and no judgment, we listen, we don't judge. Are you off your meds? You okay?
Which is perfectly legitimate because I do tend to get very, very hyper upset.
She was having
hyper
a low.
And then very suicidally low. Just, I think I'm undiagnosed bipolar as well as all the other diagnoses I have.
You know what? I don't think you need any more diagnoses. I think you're fine. Did I tell you about when we went, Lindsay's counselor changed locations. So she's seeing the same counselor, but she's at a new location, which means that she had to do all of the intake information again. And we've been seeing this counselor for a few years now. So it's not that she wasn't aware of all of family history stuff, but it wasn't the most prevalent thing in Lindsay's life, and she hadn't thought about it in a while. And now she really knows us. She's been through a custody case with us and the thick of it. And she was like, what's your, do you have family history of mental illness or anything? And I was like, I do. And I started listing what I think Dad might be diagnosed with, but he won't go to the doctor. I said, this is unofficial, but these are the kind of things that we're dealing with. And then I was listing your very official diagnoses. And she went, oh, I can see why you're on anxiety medication to me. And I was like, uh-huh. Yeah. And I was like, I've tried to umbrella protect Lindsay, but between the genetics and everything else. That's why I have the most anxious little child. So
My poor girls.
It was funny. She was just like, she was typing it all in, and she was like, oh, this is all making a lot more sense now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, mama. I'll joke at my mother's expense of her deteriorating mental health.
Well, here's what I found out. Once you said that, I was like, that does kind of seem like I changed my other meds, my psych meds.
I thought maybe you stopped taking your the antipsychotic.
Either of the psychotic
That's
or
what
the so I take, what's the antipsychotic? Abilify, and then the mood stabilizer is what you have. Cymbalta.
Cymbalta, if you want, we can do ads for you. Cymbalta, if you're looking for sponsors.
If you don't want to be like this, Cymbalta.
Yeah, if we can Cymbalta, reach out. We could sponsor you for sure. I'm alive.
And if you don't want to be like this, Abilify.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not on Abilify, and I've managed to stay out of jail. So I feel like Cymbalta helps with that too.
Abilify helps me with my paranoia. I have extreme paranoia.
Well, you didn't necessarily seem paranoid. You seemed manic. You seemed up, and low.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, did you, I thought maybe you just ran out of something and you were waiting for it to refill, or No,
I never do that on my psychs.
Okay.
I know I need them because I don't want to injure my family members with my mouth or my, crying, or I definitely a couple times have gone berserk on the grandkids when I wasn't on medications, and you had to...
know what it's like when kids are being kids and you're like, shut the fuck up! And and then my kids are like, whoa, our little crocheting quiet sweet little granny was being a kind of a bitch today. What happened? But they know that that's not you.
She called me a name that I don't even know what it is.
You probably called him a flibberty gibbet.
I said she was being because I was like, well, do you want to go get the ice cream, or should we just go home? And she was like, let's just go home. And I was like, now you're being belligerent. And she told her mom,
you might as well have called her a cunt, because she didn't know what that meant.
So, but no, I was definitely not on my meds that day. But so I know this about myself. So I did some checking because I was on Ozempic and I quit taking it. I found out that the GLP-1s, the mood stabilizer in them that eliminates the noise of
food hunger. Yes.
It's not the hunger, it's the noise of thinking about the food and
so it's like brain chemistry.
It's brain chemistry. And I asked if it can affect your mood, and it said yes, definitely. And it said if you come off of it, you'll notice all of a sudden some feelings that maybe you weren't feeling.
If I stop taking my Cymbalta and then I can't stop thinking about if I locked the door, or if the floor's been swept, or if I showered enough that day, or all of the intrusive fucking thoughts start swimming back in and make you immediately overstimulated.
So it's like getting some things back that you weren't used to coping with all at once, and all of a sudden, and then not only that, but also the food noise came back. And I have been off my diet for 2-3 weeks now. I haven't lost a single pound. I lost 8 pounds, and I'm stuck there, and I go up and down maybe 3 or 5 pounds, but I have been eating everything.
And I know that was making you feel a low.
Oh, it was.
You had been. It was gradual, it was like this, but you were coming down, and you weren't happy with the speed, but you were happy that you were coming down. And then I realized that day that you said that you broke and you cheated on your diet and you ordered a bunch of food. I know it devastated you, but you weren't just you had been in a place where you were like, I fucked up. I'm going to own that and I'm going to do better. And that day you were like, I don't even know what is the fucking point of being alive. And I was like, that's not normal for you. You're normally a little, you've been handling shit a little better than that.
Yeah.
And you just, you couldn't stop crying.
It's the Ozempic. So I am back on the Ozempic, and it is kicking in slowly. As far as my mood goes, it's slowly getting back to normal. The food noise is slowly going away. I got to get 3 weeks of it into my system, and then I'll be good.
Yeah, because you have to taper into it, don't you?
No, It just takes about 3 weeks to
Oh, okay.
be, and it takes 3 weeks off of it for that to
Well,
hit.
if it has like just like anything,
Which is what
Like if you
happened.
start taking Prozac, it has to like build up in your system.
Yeah, when I got off of it, I was like, oh, I can totally do this. My blood sugar's doing really good. I don't need to be on Ozempic. And then my blood sugar, after like 3 weeks off, all of a sudden it was just in the 200s.
Yeah, you said you were like, because I noticed you were checking your blood sugar. I hadn't seen you poke your finger with your little thing in so long, and I was like immediately worried about you. I was like, what the fuck is your blood sugar if you feel the need to check? Because you haven't been doing that, and it's been good, and your doctor was like really happy with all of your levels, your A1C and everything.
It was still okay. It was 7 something, but she wants it down in the 6s.
Okay.
But yeah, so things are getting back on track.
Okay.
But we did miss 2 episodes. I was a little berserk.
Mom was going through an Ozempic withdrawal.
Withdrawal, yes.
Okay, well, we figured it out. I knew there was something. I even told Dad, I was like, I feel like something's off with Mom. And I asked her, and I know she wouldn't lie to me. She said, no, my meds are normal. And I was like, but something's off with her. And I'm like, worried. I was literally talking to Dad about it. And he was like, well, just keep an eye on her. And I was like, I am, but yeah, I knew something was...
You know.
Yeah.
You know me very well. And you're very tuned into my moods.
I know you the best.
You do.
I'd like to say, I know you the best. For better or worse. I do know you the best, so. Well, I'm glad you figured it out and that you weren't just feeling so judged, like, that I was, like, judging. I just want you to feel well. I just don't want you to, like, if you have to cry, I want you to feel your feelings. If you're sad, you can cry. But you were, it wasn't an appropriate response.
I got upset at Christopher.
Yes,
we were having an argument, and I lost my mind. And I never get upset at Christopher. He is my baby.
Even when she needs to.
Wrong. He can do no wrong. And I got totally upset with him about the washing machine. And I was ready to kill myself because I was so upset. And it was really ridiculous. And I mean, I was literally upset as though he had done the worst possible thing that he could do. And I called Courtney crying and bawling my eyes out. And
yeah,
I think I told you I was ready to go eat. And then you were like, don't eat. And then I hung up with you. And then I went and just binged on 5,000 things. And I think I had like Arby's. I think I had like 10 sliders.
I think you like needed me to come over and literally babysit you that day. And I couldn't because I had shit. I had school. It was my finals. You were like, if you're not busy. And I like wasn't taking a test right then. So I called you back. But yeah,
and I had called Chris then too.
And I was like, I can't come babysit you right now. Like, I gotta get these fucking tests done. They're due. I was also not. I was having a Mentee B as well, and I thought my tests were going to be done or due by the end of the week. The syllabus has been available the entire semester, so I technically always knew when my tests were due, but I neglected to look at my syllabus, and I was like, oh, the end of the week is Monday. I'm sure they won't be due until Saturday or Sunday. No, they were due Thursday.
Which sucks.
And I checked Wednesday night at 11 and was like, fuck, all of my stuff that I haven't started is due tomorrow. And it was like Thursday that you had the fucking breakdown. And I was like, bitch, you're on your own. I can't babysit you till tomorrow. I gotta get these fucking tests done. Yeah. By the way, I passed my class with a B. A high B. That's the lowest grade I've ever received in college.
But that's still amazing. So, did you ever hear back from your teacher, or did you decide to stop the class?
It pissed me off even more. I'll tell you. I was at such a place when I took my test, I had not been able to. So it's...
Let's catch everybody up. She's taking a stenography course.
Taking stenography, which is court reporting, which is the special machine that you type in phonemes instead of whole words, so that you can type at the rate of speed of people talking, so that you can transcribe in real time, right? And so I'm in the first speed building course, and you have to be able to type 60 words per minute, which technically I can do with a regular keyboard. I'm capable of just typing 60 words per minute with a regular keyboard. You could be talking about the Constitution of the United States of America, and I could type that shit.
Yes.
Fast. I think I'm at like 80 words. Like, I could realistically type faster than that. But on the steno machine, it's different, and you're learning that language. So it would be like taking a Spanish test. Like, can you transcribe Spanish at 60 words per minute? Like, of course you could do that in English, but Spanish you're a little hazy on, right? Okay, so it's kind of like that. So I had only been hitting the highest accuracy that I had hit in all of the 8 weeks of this class had been like a 75%. And you have to have a 95% or higher to pass the speed course. There's 9 tests, and you have to be able to pass 6 of them at 95% or higher in order to move on to 80 words per minute. And then you go from 80 to 90 to 100 to 120 to like it just keeps going. You have to get all the way up to 220 words per minute. And week 7, my study buddy texted me that she was quitting and she was done and she was over it. And half the rest of the fucking class was not participating and had dropped already. And I was already like not feeling good about this course. Like it just wasn't, it's clicking, but not the way in which like they apparently want it to be clicking for you. It's hard to explain. And then it's an online course and you're not like immersed in it and you don't have anybody beside you to like see if there's no gauging. It's just, you're not doing it. It's telling you that you're failing and you're not looking around a classroom to see if anybody else is crying or if everybody else is cheering and it's just clearly like you suck, you know. And I had reached out to my teachers and they're like, this is all part of the process. Everybody feels this way. And this is what you do and this is what you go through. And then one day it'll just click. And that's just the rhetoric like they keep telling you. And so week 7, I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm not going to sign back up for this course. I'll take my fucking finals and I'll finish the course so that I have good standing with the school. But then I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this. This is not good for me. Like, it's stressing me the fuck out. And my study buddy felt the same exact way, which was like validating for me. Like, at least it's not just me. So
can I cut in and just another thing to update in case you haven't seen our previous episodes that we talked about. Courtney is dealing with some autoimmune type stress-induced diseases that I don't know the name of, but you have 2.
Yes.
And they're stress-induced, but also biologically.
Stress isn't helping.
The more stressed you are, the worse the symptoms become.
Yeah, the more stressed you are, the more inflammation you're going to have.
She has inflammation and her muscles become weak and she's in pain and you're going to get a brain scan, which you were supposed to get today.
Yeah, I was supposed to have my brain scan today to see if I have MS, and then they called me this morning literally to tell me that they scheduled it wrong, and they scheduled it without contrast only, but it's with and without contrast, which is a longer time slot, because you do a scan without contrast, then you take the contrast, and then you have another one. They said they only scheduled me for a smaller window, and I was like, no. When they called me to make sure that I was ready for today and like to go over the procedure with me, they said with and without contrast, and it was an hour-long window. And the lady was like, I knew I scheduled you right, but my coworker said I didn't. And I was like, but you canceled it, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then she was trying to tell me that it was going to be a month out. And I was trying to tell them that I was going to burn the fucking hospital to the ground if they didn't get me an appointment tomorrow or Friday. And they did. So
thank God we're going tomorrow.
But I have that shit weighing on me.
So she's thinking, this class is stressing me out. Some of the symptoms are flaring up. And we think it's all correlated to this class because you're still taking the chemotherapy pill.
Yes. And it's having seemingly no effect. I've been in a flare up and had like terrible muscle pain and constant nosebleeds. Like, I don't know why I'm having the nosebleed. Like, that's not even a fucking symptom. I don't know what it is, but like my nose won't stop like bleeding constantly. Like, I don't know. So like, I was a little stressed, a little stressy Bessie over here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to finish out this class. I'm not going to stress myself. If I don't pass, I don't pass. The weird thing about this class is you can pass the class. Like I said, I got a B without passing the speed tests, which means that you don't technically progress. So you have to take the class again. So it's odd. It's a weird kind of a setup. And so week 7, I didn't open my machine, not once. I waited until the day they were due and I took my speed tests and was like, what the fuck ever. And then week 8, again, didn't open my machine and then realized that my exams were like due Thursday and took all of them Thursday. And I was hitting 90%. after 2 weeks of not touching my machine. And I was like, this is what I was trying to tell my professors. Like, you're cramming so much information down our throat, but my brain's not having any time to digest it and like commit it to memory so that the muscle memory's there. Everything's just like floating right here and like the very like tip of the frontal lobe, like everything you just learned. And like
that is stress-inducing.
My fingers are like, it's pulling all from right here, not from memory. Like, when you go to text and your thumbs immediately know like where to go on the phone because it's muscle memory and you've committed it to memory and you could do it with your eyes closed almost.
Right.
I'm not, the stuff that I learned in my last 2 classes is there. So there are certain phrases and briefs that I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I know them. But all the shit that they've tried to like teach me in this 3rd class, I have added like 3,000 words and phrases to my dictionary in the last 7 weeks. And then they told me that I should buy this book that would be really helpful because it creates the briefs for you. 70,000 words in this book.
Is that all?
And I was like, I get it. All of this is doable. I'm not saying it's not doable, but I can't pass the speed test when nothing's been like committed to memory yet. And everything's just right here like, fuck. What is it? What is it? Like, you know it. And in the amount of time that it takes my brain to try to recall what my fingers should be doing, the lady in the fucking recording said 10 other words and I missed them, you know?
So you're behind and then you're failing.
2 weeks to like let everything in my brain send it to where it needed to be. And then I was like, banging these fucking tests out at 90%, which still isn't passing, but was 15% higher than what I had been doing when I was doing like 20 hours a week of practice. So I was like, this kind of proves my point, like what I'm telling you, like you're just feeding us too much information all at once. Like if you would have just made lesson 3, remember, like learning more briefs, doing some more memorization, doing some more like just honing in the like ladies and gentlemen of the jury, like just doing that over and over again because that's something you're constantly going to hear and like really committing that to memory. And then started a speed building course. Of course you're still going to have to learn more words and there's always going to be learning, sure, but not this much learning while trying to do your speed.
Yeah.
And so I emailed my teachers in week 8 and was like, listen, here's where I'm at. I'm pretty sure that I am not going to continue on with this program. And I explained everything basically that I just explained to you guys. Like, I just feel for me that this course isn't what is helpful to me. And the online forum of this is what makes it doable for me, but also what's making it impossible for me. Because I need a little bit more like feedback in real time. I need to know what other people are struggling with and like where we're all at and like, I don't know. And so I wrote this email out and I emailed it to both my professors.
Okay.
The one of them is like the director of the program and she's like the overseer. And the other one was just this lady that like just got added in this, I don't know. She's much older and she's been doing steno for a long time, but I don't know like who she is.
Okay, so the director is the one that communicated with you when they dropped you from the class accidentally.
And said, hey, did you mean to drop? And I said, no.
Like, so she had been very helpful.
She's always been very helpful. And I have nothing against these people, truly. The only person who responded back to my messages was that other lady. And she gave me this same stock, exact, almost verbatim reply that she gave me in week 3 when I explained why I was stressed out. To the point that I'm starting to think that she might not be a real human. They might have just gave her a name and it's just ChatGPT, actually, that I'm communicating with. Or she tells ChatGPT what I said and it creates a fucking response. I'm telling you, it was like oddly the same as what was said to me in week 3.
That makes me mad.
I was thinking, if they write back to me and they, depending on what they say, because of how I did get 90%, and I was like, it is clicking. I just needed a break. I'm stressing myself out. I need to stay the course. I need to do this. Depending on what they say, I was like, I might stick. I might stay. I might.
But then it was this canned response.
Only the one gave me a canned response of the exact same information that didn't work for me from week 3 to 8. The other one said nothing to me. And I was like, oh, okay, nope. That makes me feel better about my decision to drop the program. Like,
yeah.
And then I got a message from the director of the program on Monday. I just got a notification that you dropped. Did you mean to do that, or is there a problem? And I said, no, I dropped this time. Nope, I dropped. That was on purpose. That was it.
So,
I don't know. Like I said, I don't necessarily have any. And I told my study buddy, I was like, it's almost like as long as like 5% of however many people are signing up for this program stick it out, and even if they're graduating with like C's, they're like, well, the program works. The program from 1985 is still working. And I'm like, if they would just revamp it a little, I don't think they would have lost, at least not me and Ashley, my study buddy.
If you had time, I would suggest you write a strongly worded letter to the dean.
I wanted the program to work. I bought that machine. My machine's very expensive. I bought the $70 fucking Brees book that they told me to buy.
I know.
I have to pay for the program that I'm using. That's expensive every month. Like, I've invested time and energy into this, and I'm learning, and I like it. I like the program. And Allison, she kept saying, you said that you like it and that you know that, like, it's clicking, and that's exactly what we need to hear. That's all I need to hear to tell you that you should stay with the program. No, I'm telling you, at the risk of my mental health, like, I've lost the ability to sleep, and when I go to touch my machine, my hands start shaking like this because of how stressed out I am. I don't think that anybody should have to experience that. Like, well, that's how everybody who's ever been in steno has done it. What? That doesn't seem normal. It seems like you should be able
healthy
to learn without it being that fucking stressful.
God, yeah. I mean, basically, you're signing up for
and it's one
a mental
class.
ward.
It is one part-time class in 8-week segments. These classes are, and that's the only class I was taking. I have taken like 3 other. Like, I took ethics and medical terminology at the same time last summer, and an accelerated 8-week course because it was a summer course, and those are supposed to be like 12-week courses,
right?
And I passed with flying colors, like almost missed no points in either class.
No, I know you're.
So I was like, this
smart.
is just one course, and I am supposed to be dedicating at least 20 hours a week to this course. I don't even have a job right now. My coworker works for a litigation firm and has a full-time fucking job, and then is trying to do 20-hour, like,
yeah.
No wonder. I was like, Ashley, you're really the one that's like in the fucking thick of it. I don't even, when I look at you and all that you're doing right now, I don't even know why I'm bitching. She was like, I don't have little kids and everything, and I have a husband that helps me take care of stuff. Like, you have your own set of stressors. Like, she was like, yours is just as valid, but like, it's just rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
And so I talked to Ashley, and we're both just going to independently, like, use the book that we bought, and now that we know what the lingo is and stuff, we're just going to build our own kind of program to practice to, you know, and keep it up, and just take the time that we need to dedicate to memory the main phrases and the words and everything, and try to build some speed on our own, and then maybe we could jump back in and just test out, you know what I mean? Like, so
that's a great idea.
we're not giving up on it. Just this program wasn't it just didn't work. I could probably look and see if they offered another program at a different college and try to switch over, but at that point, sorry,
you might be in the same boat.
It just seems risky.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't blame you.
Now that I know what they want of us and what the goal is, I can just teach myself that myself for free.
Yeah, definitely.
And so,
you basically were teaching yourself that.
Yeah. I just wanted my fucking associate's degree. I just wanted a degree. I just wanted to tassel and to walk across the stage and do something for myself. So, like, that's upsetting for me. But if I could just learn the program and get to 220 words a minute, and then just go to the National Court Reporting Association, NCRA, yeah, and just take the test, I can just become certified, which is how I became a legal assistant, was just becoming certified in the studies without a degree. You can do the same thing. I just wanted a fucking degree. No one in our family has ever graduated college. I thought I was going to be the first one, finally, at 35 years old. Well, I would be 36 by the time whatever.
My mom graduated.
Oh, I forgot that. She did graduate
She had
college.
desktop publishing.
Sorry, there's stomach acid in my lungs.
She was like my age. She was 50.
Yeah, she was in her 50s. You're right. I do remember that now.
And Carly's, got masters and...
Yeah, when I said family, I just meant, like,
People we talk to?
The people I care about.
Okay.
I guess I meant like immediate family, but I think technically
I haven't.
I think technically they count, but I don't count them.
I have a certificate.
You know, you said last week that I seemed like I was kind of a fucking psycho. And maybe you have to be to pass college. Let's look at the history of the people in our family that are chill and doing okay, and the people that are absolutely fucking neurotic, alcoholic assholes, and who has the degree.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's a correlation there between what it takes to fucking make it in this crazy world and how fucking crazy it makes you to make it. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a study on that somewhere.
I'm sure. Anyways, you might have noticed that I'm wearing my green poofs and my who all seen the leprechaun say yeah shirt. If you don't get the reference, you need to check on YouTube for St. Patrick's Day, Mobile, Alabama.
Okay, I'm going to be checking that because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, just Google that. I think actually all you have to type into YouTube is Mobile, Alabama, and it's like the first thing that's going to put leprechaun. Is that what you're referring to? Did you want to hear the news report about the leprechaun sighting? It's like the biggest thing that's ever happened in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay, I can't wait to watch this.
It's fucking hysterical. And the shirt, you either get it or you don't.
Okay.
They're like, there was a supposed leprechaun sighting, and someone saw the leprechaun, and they're like, this hand-drawn sketch of the leprechaun was given to us, and it's this. This is what someone turned into the news. This is what I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the middle of the hood. It's like thug the fuck out, and everybody's like, who all seen the leprechaun say yeah? It's hysterical. It's fucking hysterical.
I can't wait to see it.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great news reporting.
The last thing that you had me see on YouTube was the dude in the swamp. He was green.
Old Greg.
It was old Greg. That was hilarious.
I'm old Greg. You ever
And then
drink
you had
Baileys
me-
out of a shoe?
It was so funny. And I was like, why have I never heard of this? Because I'm not in the right age group, apparently. But
No, you missed it.
And then the other one was ice water glass.
I did make you watch the Ice Work Glass video. Ice Work Glass, don't forget about me.
Yeah, I totally got your point on that one.
Yeah.
It was like...
The MRDD Foundation made a commercial.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, I made you watch that too. So I know all the best little things on the internet. But anyways, while you'll be watching this episode, St. Patrick's Day was like a week ago for you. And you're like, what the fuck, Courtney? But, you know... I have a hard time thinking about when we're going to be recording versus when it's going to air. And yesterday was St. Patrick's Day.
I need to put that on my calendar.
Like,
when we're recording this episode, we're airing it on Valentine's.
Because I should have worn this before for when we were airing.
Yeah.
But I couldn't not. This is my favorite shirt, and I only get to wear it once a year. So my excuse to get to wear it 2 days in a row.
So cute.
I had to. I had to wear it. So happy St. Patrick's Day, you know.
Yeah, I'm
belated.
totally not celebrating it at all.
No,
apparently.
she's past it. Well, we've discussed you're not Irish, so that makes sense.
That's right. Well, I found out I am 11% Irish.
Oh.
Did I tell you that?
Yes, you were like, I was wrong. I read it wrong. I am 11% Irish. And I'm 8% Irish.
Yeah. Erin go bra.
Yeah. Which makes sense because you might be able to tell that my forehead's sunburnt and my arms, I don't know if you can tell with the lighting in here, but I went to my nephew's baseball scrimmage and I sat in the sun for 3 hours and got absolutely fucking fried on Sunday or Saturday. Absolutely fried.
And then the next day.
I decided, I'm going to clean my garage. What great weather. And it dropped to 20 degrees and was fucking snowing.
It was a blizzard.
And I was wearing
I had to drive that night.
Long johns and gloves and my parka and a hat cleaning my garage, freezing to death. I had to turn the space heater on.
Yeah, I bet. It was freezing. Yeah. I was on my way. I was taking some lady she lived clear out almost to Louisville. Like if you go to the Walmart.
Okay.
And then you drive up 30th Street all the way to where it ends.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's this little cluster of apartments. And she was going to Cleveland Hopkins. She was flying to California to see her daughter graduate from college.
Oh, how exciting.
I know. And it started blizzarding as soon as we got on 77.
So Mom had her hazards on and was driving 15 miles an hour. Am I wrong?
You have that spot on. Spot on. And I'm doing everything I can. I'm flipping the fog lights on, and I couldn't see at all. All you could see was a white blanket of snow in front of my car. And I was like,
and the snowflakes were like this big that day too.
It was just coming down though. Yeah. It was like, this was like, I want to say 2 in the morning. And because I had planned to work all night, I was like, oh yeah, I'll drive you up to Cleveland and I'll come back and I'm making that bank tonight. So
just kidding. I can't see.
I was driving like 15 miles an hour with my hazards on, and I was like, I don't feel safe about this. How do you feel about it? And she was like, I don't feel safe about it either. And I was like, this is on your clock.
She was like, bitch, if you're telling me you don't feel safe and you're the one driving me, I feel not safe at all. I'm sure she was like, well, that's all I needed to hear. Now I'm terrified.
Yeah, she was totally pissed at me. I was like, do you mind if we just pull over and see if this is going to quit? Because I don't feel safe driving in this. And I said, I can't see anything. And she said, I guess not. And I said, okay. So we pulled over. Nothing happened. I pulled up the weather report. Snow was supposed to happen until like 4 a.m. So I was like, I don't want to just sit here for 2 hours. This is going to charge your account an extra $100 if we do that. She was like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we have 2 options. I can get off. We were right at Belden Village. I was like, I can get off here, take you to Sheetz. You can reorder a Uber and wait for them to come and pick you up at Sheetz. Or I can drive you back home. And if I do that, it's going to be 20 minutes on your clock. So what I will do as a favor, because I feel bad about this, is say that I dropped you off right now and it won't charge you any more money. And she said, just do that and take me home. And she was stewing the whole time. And then as soon as we got back on 62 heading back out to where she lived, it stopped snowing. The sky was just as clear, crystal clear. And we got to her house and I was like, I'm really sorry about this. And I really hope you make it to see your daughter's graduation. And she was like, yeah, it's crystal clear now. She was just not having any of me at all. She was just pissed off. And I really felt terrible, but there was no way I was driving up to Cleveland where I knew it was going to be even worse.
Yeah.
And we would have never made it. 15 miles an hour,
Yeah.
Other cars were flying through there, but I couldn't see. And then last night, 23 car pileup at Arlington.
Yeah, at Arlington. Oh, yeah.
And it was the same thing. It started blizzarding. I came home. And went to bed at 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just one of those things when you rely on other people for your transportation and not yourself, or you don't want to pay the fee to park your car in the deck or whatever. What are you going to do? You're at the mercy of other people then. So, and yeah, I would certainly be like, no, if you don't feel comfortable, by all fucking means, go ahead and just take me to Sheetz.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive with you if you don't feel comfortable. Like,
right.
No offense. Like, okay.
No, she just wanted me to go. She was mad that she had to pay.
I want to get to the airport or I want to die in a fiery crash. There's no in between.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt
Roll
bad.
the dice.
I really try to do everything I can to make the ride wonderful. I make my car smell good. I have it cleaned 3 times a week. And I don't listen to anything that my customers don't want to listen to. I have a little earpiece in, and
I know. That's why you have a great rating.
I'm just friendly, and this woman, I know she didn't leave me a good one.
This lady was like, she wasn't willing to kill me in a blizzard, so what is even the point?
Oh, good Lord. Anyway. Should we talk about the case?
I'm excited to talk about the case.
I'm excited to talk about the case.
All right, you tell me about the case. I'm going to pour myself more coffee.
So I really wanted to do this case. This case is about a young girl named Shanda Scherer. Have you heard of her? I think you probably have.
Maybe. The name doesn't immediately ring a bell.
She was 12, and she was murdered by a group of mean girls.
Oh.
So does that sounding familiar?
I've seen stuff about that, so maybe.
Okay. Well, that's the case we're doing, and I can't wait to tell you about it. It is horrendous, and you're going to be like,
Girls are ruthless. My daughter deals with this every day. I was just talking with Matt
that's
about
all I
this.
could think about is my Lindsay is 11. This could have happened to a Lindsay. And Shanda Shearer reminds me of Lindsay. She's just outgoing and, all right, let's get into it.
Great.
Viewer discretion. Shanda
VD.
Renee Shearer, 12 years old. So this is about murder of a teenager, not quite teenager. I suck at these. Viewer discretion. We're going to be talking about child murder and
Bullying
and torture.
And torture. And
Yeah.
okay.
So bad things. So if that's going to trigger you, please tune into a different episode.
Bounce out. Okay.
All right. So on January 11th, 1992, in Madison, Indiana, a hunter came upon the body of a burned female. Yes. He called police and they began an investigation. That same day, Stephen Shearer woke up and realized that his 12-year-old daughter was missing. After trying all of the neighbors and any of the friends that he thought she might have talked to, they all said they hadn't seen her or talked to her. Then he called her mother, who her name is Jacqueline Vaught, and they were divorced. It was 1:45 in the afternoon, and she hadn't seen her, and they decided they were going to go file a missing persons report with the police. The body that the hunter had discovered was their daughter, Shanda. Yeah.
God, worst absolute fucking nightmare.
Oh, I've just got
Chills. Yeah.
it just, I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine. If that were Lindsay,
No,
how do people go on?
I don't know.
I
Not
mean,
well.
I know.
Not the same.
So let's talk about her. I'm calling her Shanda, but I'm pretty sure it's Shanda. Shanda Renee Shearer.
Is it Shanda?
DA.
Shanda. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was born June 6th in 1979 in Pineville, Kentucky. And her parents did divorce, and she relocated with her mother to Louisville, Kentucky, where she went to St. Paul School for the 5th and the 6th grade. So she was very active in school. She was in sports, including cheerleading, volleyball, and softball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just cheerleading alone is a lot.
Yeah.
And then you add in one more sport. But to be in everything, she's busy all year round. Then in June of 1991, her mother got divorced again from her next husband, and then they moved to New Albany, Indiana. Then Shanda went to Hazelwood Middle School.
Okay.
So Shanda was a 7th grade student at the school, and she was described by family and friends.
7th grade? And she was 12. Okay. Never mind. That makes sense. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking Lindsay, who's 5th grade and 11, but she's a late birthday.
This is a June birthday.
Nope. So, yep. Okay. That makes sense.
Because the same for me. I was 12 in 7th grade. She was described by family and friends as friendly, outgoing, and eager to make new friends. And you can just tell when you see her picture. She just has that bright cheerleader,
Like
25 watt
spirit. Yeah.
smile,
25 watt is not a very bright bulb, Mom. Do you mean like 100 watt?
whatever the brightest would be.
Okay.
1,000 watt.
121 gigawatts.
1.21
1.21
gigawatts.
gigawatts. She had a 1.21 gigawatt smile. Nuclear.
Like many middle school students, she was navigating new friendships and early romantic relationships. So she's in a new school system. She's got to make all new friends.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yes. And she met a girl named Amanda Heverin, and they developed a friendship. Amanda Heverin was a 15-year-old high school student in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and she had previously been in a romantic relationship with a girl named Melinda Lovelace, who was 16.
Okay.
Melinda's important to the story. So
Okay.
just remember that name. We'll come back to it.
Amanda, Melinda,
And Shanda.
Shanda. Okay.
Yes.
And Amanda was either bisexual or gay and had been dating a girl. Melinda's a girl. Like, am I hearing you correctly?
Yes, Amanda was dating Melinda.
Okay.
And then Shanda developed a relationship with Amanda.
A friendship or a relationship?
Well, it started out as a friendship. Actually, it started out as a fight. Amanda confronted her. They got in a fight because Shanda had been asked to give Amanda's brother a note. And I think it was like a breakup note. And Amanda got mad at Shanda and...
Like, shoot the messenger.
Yes.
Okay.
And they got in a verbal...
altercation.
And then they both got detention.
And then in detention, they were like...
They became friends.
We have stuff in common.
Yes.
Okay.
So
many friendships start that way.
they began dating then shortly after that.
Okay.
And the relationship angered Melinda Lovelace, who was the other girlfriend.
The ex-girlfriend, yes.
She actually believed that Amanda still belonged to her. Melinda has some problems. She's got severe family problems. And when I say severe, I mean severe. We're not going to go into it because this isn't about her problems.
Okay.
But if you want to know more, you can look it up.
Okay.
She's definitely got some reasons to be...
a little unstable and a little clingy and...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She just doesn't sound like she has a good support system, and she doesn't have very good skills.
She doesn't have a good support system. She doesn't have good role models. She's been abused in every way you can imagine. Yeah.
No coping skills.
No
okay. And
coping
teenage
skills.
hormones and all of it.
The whole deal. Yes.
Okay.
So, Amanda invited Shanda to the school dance, and Melinda Lovelace confronted Shanda there. And
this poor girl is only 12.
she's 12.
And she's dating a 15-year-old and getting a 16-year-old like pissed
In
off
her
at her.
face, yeah.
I can't imagine Lindsay's tough, and Lindsay would still like... I think Lindsay would crumble. Like, I still think that would like shut her down. Like, these older girls are in my face. Like, that's a lot to deal with.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this was also early 90s. Kids were a little tougher then. It was it's a different time, but that's still a lot to deal with.
Well, okay. After Amanda and Shanda went to the this fall festival together, Lovelace then told her three friends that she wanted to kill Shanda. So there's three other girls that were friends with Melinda Lovelace.
Okay.
There's Mary Lorene Tackett. That's like her main friend.
Okay.
And she goes by Lori. And she's 17. Mary Lorene.
Oh, okay. I get it.
So
I
she
was
goes
what
by
the
Lori.
fuck? Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
And then Hope Rippey
Lori and Hope.
was 15. And then Tony Lawrence, another girl. She's Tony with an I.
Tony with an I. Okay.
Yeah. She was also 15. So that's like her main social circle.
So Lori and Hope and Tony.
Yes.
Okay.
And she basically told them she wanted to kill Shanda.
Okay.
She just did not think that Amanda belonged to anybody else. So she saw Shanda as a total enemy, and we needed to get her out of the picture.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, Shanda's parents did not approve of her relationship with Amanda at all. They thought Amanda was smug and disrespectful. And boy, let me tell you, they were right. We'll find out later on. But she was smug and disrespectful. Also, Shanda's like this cute cheerleader type.
Well, and take out the fact of like if your parents are weirded out about you dating a girl, which is its own fucking thing in and of itself. But this sounds more like they just didn't like this particular girl's character. Even if it's a boy, I'm going to be fucking apprehensive about my 12-year-old dating a 15-year-old.
Right.
Dating at that age anyways is like very fucking nerve-wracking for parents, I feel like, anyways. Like, at least in this case, she's not going to get pregnant. But Like, you're still,
Yes.
that's still just right on that cusp. 11, 12, 13 is still right on that cusp of, like, you're not trying to make them a little kid still. But as a grown adult, you do recognize that you are still a little kid at that age. And you just want them to
For
just
sure.
still be a kid. Like, you have the whole rest of your life to worry about fucking romance, you know? Like,
Yes. And it was very out of character for Shanda. She had not previously ever been with another girl.
okay.
So,
And Amanda had been, and she's a little bit older, and maybe, you know, a little more mature or streetwise, and was
I think
maybe
she
able
knew
to
how to manipulate
how to
Shanda.
get Shanda to be like, I'll explore this, you know, or
Yes.
like, I do like you, and like at that age too, I think it's such a, not for everybody. I'm not trying to diminish the feelings of people who are truly homosexual in nature or anything like that, but sometimes at that age, because you are just still learning how to navigate any kind of relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic, whatever, you know, like you do, like you're kind of obsessed with this girl, like you love hanging out with her, and she's gorgeous and she's got great style, and you love the same things, and you can laugh all night, and it can become like, well, why wouldn't we date then? I love you, like
Yeah.
I do love being, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know.
You're not
just
you don't
experimenting.
necessarily know if it's romantic. Sometimes you do, like I said. Like some people know right away, you know? And I'm not saying you choose, but I'm saying that at
If
that
you're somebody
age,
that
it's-
doesn't know, that age is an experimental age.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah. Or maybe you are ultimately bisexual or what, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, you're still just like I tell my daughter, she's 11, like, work on friendships. Worry about building good friendships right now, because the better you are at having a strong friendship, because you have great communication skills, and you're learning empathy, and you're learning and you're learning what makes a good friend and what doesn't, and who you want in your life and who you don't. If you can nail that down, relationships will be easier. Like, start here
Exactly.
at square one. Like, learn how to just be a friend before you
Yes.
try to run, you know?
Exactly. One cannot run into running.
What's that from?
Nishi.
One cannot run into running.
Yeah, it's actually from. It's when Akeem is talking to the girl from Coming to America,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and he says, "One cannot run into running."
Yes.
That's not me. That is Nietzsche.
Let's crawl, then walk, then run. Yes. Okay.
So,
Pretty
yeah, no. That is an age where they're not quite ready for
But I've
the
been
next
that
step.
age. But I've been
They're
that age, and we all
just
have
crawling
been.
into it.
And we remember little crushes and what it feels like. You
Sure.
want to hold hand. Like, I'm not saying I've never been that age and I didn't have a crush, and everybody else is saying they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you don't want to be the one that doesn't. Like,
Derek Eakin.
your little.
I was head over heels for him when I was 12. He sat in the same desk as me, but different mods.
Oh,
And
so you could
I
just be
wrote, "I love Derek Eakin" into the
wood on the
wood on the desk. And the next day it said, "You spelled Derek wrong."
Not that much, bitch.
And I had my first kiss with him.
That almost could have been daddy for me.
He was precious. But he
I'm
was
trying to think of who I liked when I was 12. Somebody that didn't fucking like me back, I'm sure. 12. 7th grade, she's in 7th grade?
Yes.
Ben Stickle.
Oh, really? Is that the one that I bought you the book about?
Yes.
There was
He's
a book.
just not that into you?
There was a book. And I was just thinking, how many guys did I fall head over heels and not see the signs that they just didn't care about me? I didn't want my daughter to go through that. I didn't want her to be that girl. I thought I was doing her this great favor, and I bought her this book called He's Just Not That Into You.
She might as well have just handed me a book that said, you're a fucking loser and get used to it. That's what it felt like to me.
Oh my God. And
And you were like, read it. And I was like, first of all, I hate reading and you know that. So let's just start there. The fact that you got me a book means you don't even know me at all. Second of all, I don't want a book that explains that Ben Stickle isn't into me. I'd want to just continue to just pine over him in silence. leave me alone.
But she didn't say those things out loud to me.
It wouldn't have mattered. You would have just lectured me for hours on end.
Exactly.
So I said
she knew
nothing.
better.
Yeah.
So she just said nothing and took the book. But then, like, years later,
They came out with a movie. That book became a movie, and I was just like, I'm gonna jump off a fucking bridge.
And I felt bad about that years later after I'd had some counseling. I was like, I've sent her all the wrong messages. I'm trying to help her.
That's not true. And if you do remember, I did say something to you one time about that whole incident. And I said, Mom, I understand, but I need to learn it for myself. Like, I need to learn how to navigate this, and I want to try to like him. And then if he ultimately does come out and say, I don't like you, I need to experience that. I don't want to read it in a book. I'm trying to figure out how to even tell. I never said, I like you. I wasn't pining over him. I would just come home and talk about like how funny and cute he was and how we played tuba together and we were in band, and she would be like, does he talk to you? And I'd be like, he talks to me about like band stuff and we like joke and stuff. And she'd be like, did he ask you out? And I'd be like, no. And she was like, oh, this kid, like, she's going to get her heart broken. And I was just like, Mom, like, just let me get my heart broken then. That's part of life. I did tell you that. Like,
and me, I was just this teen, pregnant, got married at 17. I mean, moved out at 16. And you know, I've never been in a normal anything. So I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I just don't want her to go through some of the hardships that I've gone through.
You didn't want anybody to break my heart. You wanted me to be strong and resilient, and I can respect that.
Yeah, I just didn't want anybody taking advantage of you.
You also thought that I was like you. Like,
I didn't want you pining over this guy that obviously didn't give a shit about you. I wanted you to care about people that cared about you.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to have your...
You like who you like.
Yeah.
And that's the tale as old as time.
Right.
You cannot help who you're attracted to. Unfucking fortunately. Right?
Right.
So, yeah, what a time. Yeah, to be 12 and be in love. Funny story. Nothing ever became of that. Ben Stickle did write me a note that said, Kizzle. Because he was the only other one that called me Kizzle, like Lizzle does. Lizzle, my friend Elizabeth, I call her Lizzle. She calls me Kizzle. I think we've discussed this before. It was during the For Shizzle My Nizzle phase of Snoop Dogg era.
Yes.
And so I was Kizzle. So he wrote me a note. I still have this note. I should bring it in and show you guys. I have it. I know exactly where it's at home. I have a container of all of like my notes from that era. I saved all my friends' notes.
That's cool.
And he wrote me a note and he was just like, you know, I care about you and I love our friendship. It means a lot to me. Like, I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to be more than friends. Like, I hope you understand. And I was like, yeah, cool. And then I cried at home about it. But we were friends. So he was not attracted to me. Okay? And I just figured, like, yeah, it's because I have greasy hair and I'm fat. Fine, whatever. Years later, the summer before senior year, Maria's parents went out of town, and we decided to throw a party. And I wanted to invite Ben Stickle.
Okay.
And because, here's why we wanted to invite him. Because we knew that he was constantly having parties because his older sister would buy booze. That's why we wanted him to come, because he could get us beer. That's why. That was why. So we tried to invite him, and he was like totally not fucking interested. And I knew that he had a crush on Lauren Trieber. And I was like, oh, well, that's a shame because I think Lauren's coming. And then Lauren was not coming. That was never part of the plan. I fucking lied. And he was like, oh, okay. And so he had his sister.
He was underestimating the sneakiness.
He had his sister buy us beer and shit. And he came, and we had a little party at Maria's house. And we were just like drinking beer and sitting on the patio and like being goofy and stuff. And my first kiss ever in life ended up being Ben Stickle, drunk, 17 years old. Years later.
Oh.
It wasn't really an all moment. It was funny. Me and Andrea, my friend that got tattooed with me at the same time.
Yeah.
We were both making out with Ben at the same time until I was finally like, Andrea, you have no idea of the history because you're new to the friends group and this is my moment. And I pushed her off the couch.
Okay.
And she was like, okay.
That sounds like my girl.
She was like, I got it. I got it. That was fun while it lasted. And then, yeah, so my first kiss was actually a group kiss with Andrea and Ben.
Ew.
Good times. Wild.
Okay.
Wild times. What a night. It's a funny story. And Lizzle, we were on the sectional, and Lizzle was at the sectional down here, and like all of our feet were like touching her, and she was like, "What's going on over there?"
I can just hear her voice.
Yeah. And she was mad that we were drinking, and she was like, thought we were being so irresponsible, and she showed up with Nick, and they were like this.
Oh.
And they were acting like so above it.
Party poopers.
And I was like, okay, like you're not going to go to college next year and drink illegally. Fuck you.
Right. And she didn't, though.
And then later she was like, I'm sorry, I was such a bitch at that party. And we were like, it's fine. We were fine. It was no big deal.
She's such a sweetheart.
She was just a good girl. We all were. That's what's hysterical. Like, we were not partiers.
No, I know, yeah.
We were just like, let's do what the other kids do. Let's have a party while your parents go away, like in the movies.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I hid the beer in my car.
And you were 17.
And that was...
I was a mother.
And then Dad was like, oh, I need in your car for something. And I was like, no, you don't. There was a fucking case of beer in my car.
He would have went ballistic.
And he would have went absolutely apeshit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those tires would have been flattened.
We hid it in Maria's basement under the basement under the basement staircase for a really long time. And then ironically, after like 15 years of never cleaning their fucking basement, that summer, her mom was like, oh, Maria, we're going to start a project and we're going to clean out the basement. And she was like, you got to come get that fucking beer. My mom wants to clean under the fucking stairs. I have no idea why. And so then that's when I put it in my car.
Okay.
And then my dad was like, oh, let's work on your subs in your trunk. And I was like, not today, Dad. It's fine.
Oh, my gosh. You were freaking out. Yeah, I'll say.
Good times, memories. Yeah, just so you know, he was that into me. And then me and Ben Stickle went on a date just a couple years ago, again. And he was into it. And I was like, this was more fun when I was 12.
Okay.
And it was from across the room. It's actually...
He didn't turn out to be everything you fantasized about.
No, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Garth Brooks, but I can relate to that.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It's fine. Great guy, no problem. Well, we get along. We're friends.
We're good friends.
Yeah, he's hysterical. We can talk and talk, but yeah, it just didn't click the same way it used to. So, but just so you know, he was that into me. So fuck you and your stupid book.
Okay. Whew.
I just had to lie about Lauren Trieber. That's all. He didn't realize he was into me until he had some beer.
Okay. I think there's a chapter about that in that book.
Is there a chapter called Beer Goggles?
I think so.
There should be. I'm going to write my own book. Fuck you guys. Anyways, this poor girl is 12. And
yes.
She's trying to navigate
her parents are
ridiculous teenage relationships. And her parents are like...
Her parents are not that into Amanda.
And that's just not what you want to hear when you're a young girl. You don't want to hear your parents being like, I don't like their attitude. Whatever, Mom. You don't know.
So you could tell Shanda was getting a little rebellious because she had always been the preppy girl. Mm-hmm. With the cute bob hair and the little poof.
The cheerleader type, yes.
Yeah. And she stopped wearing makeup and fixing her hair, and she started dressing more grungily.
I was going to say, 92 was like, grunge is fucking hitting, you know? The style is changing.
That's what she started doing.
And she's hanging out with 15-year-olds who are like...
And the parents were getting like, I think she's going down a path
Is this alarming? Yeah.
We don't want to see her go down. So they transferred her to Our Lady of Perpetual Help School.
Wow. They were, don't start wearing flannel around these parents. They were like...
Right.
Yikes.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I'm sure it was out of love, though. You know.
Oh, it was.
Trying to protect her. That's what parents do. I get it.
So, while at that school, Shanda became involved in the school activities that she had been involved in before, and she began acting more like her old self.
Okay.
So, whatever they had hoped to happen to get her away from Amanda helped to get her back to who she was.
Okay.
And her relationship with Amanda fizzled out as a result.
It's one thing if your kid just, like, Aubrey went through a phase where she was, like, totally, like, fairy forest core and, like, wanted to wear, like, elf ears and, like, was, like, totally into that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then she went back to being, like, the preppiest little fucking Abercrombie bitch wearing pink and having to have her nails, like, yeah, like, but that was all her. You could tell that it wasn't necessarily, like, she was just exploring fashions and exploring different parts of herself, and so we gave her the space to. It didn't feel like she was trying to put on for someone or
that somebody was controlling her.
Influenced. Yes. Yeah. So I can understand if you're like, I don't really care if you wear flannel, but I know that this isn't your scene and you're just doing it so that this girl will continue to give you attention, and you should be with people who liked you when you were yourself. Like,
right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So she kind of started getting it too. She was still sneaking out to see Amanda in the beginning, but that started to fizzle out.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Melinda Lovelace had been stewing. She had such hatred towards Shanda, and it didn't cool off. She made a plan.
Even after this girl moves and she's, like, out of the picture?
Yes. So the four girls drove to Shanda's father's home. She happened to be, it was like her weekend with her dad.
Okay.
That was in Jeffersonville. And it was January 10th of 1992.
Okay.
Hope and Tori, Tony, went to the door pretending to be friends with Amanda. So remember there were the four girls. Yep. So, they told Shanda that Amanda was waiting at this local hangout that was called the Witch's Castle. It was just a ruined stone house out in the woods. And that's where the kids would go and, play spin the bottle or whatever. Whatever they did. Probably smoke a drink. I said spin the bottle. That's what we did.
Dig a hole and burning sticks. That's another movie quote that no one's going to get but me, but...
Okay,
the
what's that from?
Haggard with the guys from Jackass, like Bam Margera and all of his friends.
Okay.
They make them. I made Christopher watch it a couple weeks ago. I fucking love that movie. But he's like going through a life crisis and he goes to this guy for advice and he's like, you try breaking bottles behind a Wawa? And he goes, well, what's that going to do? And he says, you could dig a hole and burn some sticks. And he goes, I mean, how far do you dig and what do you do when the sticks are burned up? Like, why is this gonna help? Like, that's his advice. Like,
okay.
That's just what it reminded me.
That's
like,
hilarious.
This is the place where you would like, oh yeah, it's the old castle where we dig holes and burn sticks in them.
Okay.
Like,
all right. Yeah. That was very fitting.
Yeah. Try breaking bottles behind a Wawa. Every time I see a Wawa, I have to say that.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what me and my friends did when we were like 9? Heritage Christian School, it used to be the old Lincoln High School. You know how they had like those pits that you could get down into? We used to get down into them. There was this one that had like a locker, and so you could climb, get your fingers in and your toes in, and like you could climb down into the pit. And they had those glass block windows, and we discovered that if you throw a rock at them, it makes like a sound when you break it. So we were just breaking the fuck out of all these glass block windows. And this janitor came out. What the hell are you doing? And I'm telling you, we scrambled up that thing and got the hell out of there. But yeah, kids don't think. We don't think,
No, we were like, that sounds cool. I want to hear that sound again. And you're like causing
we're not trying to be hellions.
Hundreds of dollars of damage.
Yes. We were not trying to do that. So, yeah.
Kids are just dumb. Yeah.
We were pretty dumb. But, okay, they told Shanda that Amanda was waiting at the Witch's Castle. So, Shanda said, and this is Melinda's plan.
Yes.
She's having them do this.
Melinda's waiting at the Witch's Castle.
Melinda's in the car.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, so Shanda's like, I can't go right now. I'll sneak out later when my dad goes to sleep. So they're like, okay. So Melinda is pissed off that they didn't get her right then because she's hot. She's ready to kill her.
Yeah.
So they wait and they drive back later. They pick up Shanda. As soon as she entered the car, Lovelace pulls Shanda's head back and put a knife to her throat. Yeah. She's just there.
Jesus Christ, this
I know.
psychotic girl.
She is psychotic. Yeah. She's not somebody you want to mess with. So, they drove to the abandoned house.
Like, what happened to just egging her house? Or, like, spray painting bitch in the driveway?
No, that she's way past that.
And even spray painting, that's pretty... I never would have done that. But I'd egg the fuck out of people's house. And I did.
This girl's got some psychopathies. She's probably got some borderline.
Sounds like it. Yeah, I don't think you just go, like, pulling a knife on people unless you have some...
Yeah, it's a 12-year-old. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, they go to the abandoned house.
If I was 15 and I was that jealous of a 12-year-old, I would be afraid to tell people. I'm not saying that I might not have felt jealous of a 12-year-old if she was getting the attention that I wanted, but I would have damn sure not told a fucking person because I would have realized how pathetic that was. I wouldn't have wanted anybody to know that a 12-year-old could pull attention away. Like, I would have told no one because that's embarrassing.
You would think. Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, all these girls just... They were just right on board.
Disturbing. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it is disturbing. So, okay. They took her to the witch's castle and teased and scared her there. So, basically, they were threatening to cut off her hair and, you know, telling her, you won't be so pretty then, will you? And stuff like that. They were just teasing her and taunting her.
Yeah.
They did take her jewelry. She had, and this is just, she had a Mickey Mouse watch. And that just goes to show you her age. You know, she was still so innocent.
Yeah.
But they took her jewelry, and she was crying and very frightened.
She was terrified.
Course,
yeah.
But essentially unharmed when they left.
I think I was a tougher 12-year-old than Lindsay is going to be
definitely.
This year. She's turning 12 this year. I was much tougher than her, and I still would not have been able to navigate the situation.
No.
And I was pretty tough and, like, pretty streetwise and had already been through a lot, you know?
Yes.
And I still absolutely would have, like, been crying out for you, like, terrified.
Oh, well, you were about 12 when that one girl who was 16 was threatening you, and I went to her house and told her off and cussed her out. We won't say any names on here, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, I was I couldn't cope. I did a very bad thing. I just rung that bell and threatened to throw her ass in the DH and told her she better fucking quit threatening my daughter.
Is this when we lived with Grandma Sandy?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yes. I was making sure we were on the same page. Yep.
Yeah, she was like 16. That girl. Anyways.
Yeah, so...
I know you were, like, humiliated and embarrassed, weren't you? That I did that.
Well, I just wanted to feel like I was tough enough to fight my own battles, but sometimes we do need our moms. I would do the same thing for Lindsay. That's best belief. So...
I know you would. I know you would.
I'd be like, I'm going to yell at you, Andrew, go get your mom. I'm going to fucking bitch slap the both of you. It's just as much your mom's fault. Go get your parents. I'm yelling all at you.
I could have got in trouble for...
I know, you threatened a minor.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. I wasn't gonna have this girl telling my daughter she was gonna kill her, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna do whatever I could to make sure she didn't do that.
I had probably told her to go fuck herself and called her a dumb bitch. In all seriousness.
Probably.
I was probably talking shit. Not out of turn. She probably said something shitty or said something to one of my friends, you know. But yeah.
Well,
I wasn't wearing a Mickey Mouse watch, I'll tell you that much.
No.
I would have been wearing like a Metallica shirt and I would have been like, fuck you.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds about right. Oh. Okay. Well, they left the abandoned house and drove around and ended up getting lost. So they're asking people at gas stations for directions. They've got Shanda in the back of the car holding her at knife point. They finally arrive at these woods near Laurie Tackett's home. So she's the older one. She's the 17-year-old.
Mary Laurie.
Yes. So Tackett led them into the woods to this abandoned building that she knew of.
Okay.
Hope Rippey and Tony Lawrence were at that point kind of frightened about what was going on. So they stayed in the car. They didn't really want to.
They were like, we just wanted to steal her fucking watch and call her fat and ugly. We didn't really want to, like, do all this.
Yes.
We just wanted to do normal bullying activities.
Yes. So they stayed in the car.
Not nice, but what you would expect. Yeah.
Loveless and Tackett made Shanda strip down to her underwear. Lovelace punched Shanda in the stomach and kneed her in the mouth. And actually, she cut her lip on her braces. Then Hope Rippey ended up getting out of the car to hold Shanda down because she's, at this point, really fighting back and trying to get away.
Yeah, I'm sure. Human instinct.
So Lovelace attacked and choked and stabbed her in the chest while Hope Rippey held her down. Then they strangled Shanda with a rope until she was unconscious. And then Tackett locked Shanda in the trunk of the car, and they went to Tackett's house. Yeah.
And she'd been stabbed, so she's, like, bleeding.
Yeah. They strangled her unconscious. They thought she was dead. Shanda began screaming in the trunk, and so Tackett went out to the trunk and, because they thought she was dead.
Right. They're like, oh, fuck.
She came to and started screaming. She went back and used this one of those paring knives and cut Shanda again. So now they all get back in the car and they're driving around.
It's one thing in the heat of the moment, like if you're all hyped up to like do crazy shit, but you would think after you went home, you removed yourself from the situation, you had to be thinking at that point, like,
oh, there's consequences. Oh, this is a human being.
This is not even any of that, but just like, I'm going to get, still very self-centered. Fuck, I'm going to get in trouble. What are we going to do with a body? Like, still nothing about, what do we do? No, like, fuck, I'm going to be in trouble. What do we do? And you just talk to your mom. You're like removed enough that you think that if she started screaming that you might be like, I should just let her go. Or, like not back to violence, but like, change of like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems even more fucked up that after like a little bit removed from the situation and like a second to breathe and then given the chance to make like a new choice, that she was like, what am I gonna do? Stab her again?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even Melinda, was it?
No, it was Tackett.
It was Lori.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What dog did she have in the fight? Like,
yeah, she was just enjoying it.
It would make more sense if Melinda did it.
Right. Melinda stabbed her in the chest.
Yeah.
But Tackett went out and was going to finish the job when she started screaming. Yes. So Loveless and Tackett drove around most of the night after that with Shanda in the trunk. They stopped so that Tackett could beat Shanda with a tire iron until she said she felt her head cave in. And then both girls sexually assaulted Shanda with the tire iron. This is getting completely
These
fucked up at this
girls are
point.
like sociopaths.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely not just like, I'm jealous and I stabbed you, like hormonal crazed behavior, but maybe you're not like completely lost forever. Like, this is just like, that's just next level fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
it's horrifying. It's just as bad as Dahmer or any,
yes, yeah.
And these girls are 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Loveless and Tackett returned to pick up Rippey and Lawrence. That's Hope and Tony. Then they decided to get rid of Shanda's body by burning it. So Shanda was still alive with her head caved in. She was still alive. They stopped.
She had to have had smoke in her lungs in order for you to be telling me that you know that she was still alive at this point.
That is correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So they stopped at a gas station and they bought like a 2-liter of Pepsi.
And then emptied it and got gas.
Yep.
Okay.
And Rippey, Hope suggested this country location for burning the body. So when they got to the dump site, Tony remained in the car at this point. She was freaked out. She's the one that stayed in the car when Hope held her down.
Oh, so she's like the only one that like somewhat has a soul. Okay.
Yeah, but she's afraid of everybody, so she's not going to say stop. She's not going to.
Yeah, they're just going to hurt her. Yeah, yes.
But she stayed in the car. When they opened the trunk, Rippy, this is Hope, sprayed Shanda with Windex and said, "You're not looking so hot now, are you?"
Who could even, at that age, who could even stomach looking at a body, like looking at all that blood? Like,
yeah. And there was blood.
There are people who literally like pass out if you like get a paper cut and bleed too much.
Yeah.
And these young girls are like not phased at all by this?
No. We're talking about
in modern society, like.
I know. There's something wrong with them. So Hope poured gasoline on Shanda, and then they set her on fire. And they walked away, but the fire was dying down. And Loveless thought that she might not get burnt up, so she poured the rest of the gasoline on her. And then they drove away. And they went and had some breakfast.
Yeah, no. Like, I have no room in society for those people. Like.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're up to the hunter discovering her body. And this is the next day that the hunter discovered her body. They did an autopsy, and as you guessed, she died from smoke inhalation and burns. She had burns over, the highest percent of her body. So because of that, they concluded she was alive when she was set on fire. The autopsy also my tongue is really twisted. I'm upset about this.
Yeah, I can't even think straight. I know.
Yeah, the autopsy documented multiple blunt force trauma injuries, including several, including, in other words, she had been struck repeatedly with the tire iron, with the knife, being punched, and contusions and trauma across various parts of her body, as well as the they call it sharp force injuries. That's the stab wounds.
Yeah.
While not strictly an autopsy finding, the medical evidence was considered alongside testimony establishing that she had been confined for over 8 hours. She sustained injuries at multiple locations over time, and they were inflicted in stages. Which
it wasn't all right.
The prolonged duration was cited by the court as an aggravating factor.
Well, it's like torture charges.
It's like what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
they didn't just come to.
It's not manslaughter. It's not murder too. Like, you were purposely like torturing this girl and trying to kill her. And every time that she just didn't die, you just tried harder. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, at 8:20 p.m. the next day. So this is after her body had been discovered.
Okay.
Tony and Hope went to the sheriff's office with their parents. First they told their parents what had happened, and the parents took them to the police station.
I'm surprised at Hope.
I know. She was trying to, at this point,
she was like, fuck, I don't want to, they're going to flip on me. Yeah.
Yes.
She probably sensed that Tony was about to fucking spill the beans.
Yes, that is what I think.
Yeah.
Because she tried to pretend like she was as innocent as Tony.
Yeah. And
say, well, I stayed in the car, and, leave out the part where she sprayed her with Windex and said, hey, you don't look so hot now.
Yeah.
Held her down while they stabbed her. But, okay, they gave statements about the attack and murder of Shanda, and they named, Tackett and Loveless. So the statements were enough to get warrants for the other girls, and Melinda and Lori were arrested shortly after that on January 12th. All four, I can't believe this part. I'm sorry. I can believe this part. I just can't believe the outcome. But okay. They were sentenced as juveniles and tried in adult court.
Okay.
So because they were sentenced as juveniles,
they couldn't get a life sentence.
Right. So, okay. Melinda Lovelace, who was the planned, and the main person, her sentence, she pled guilty to murder, criminal confinement, and arson. So she pled guilty, so there wasn't a trial.
Yeah.
She received 60 years for the murder and 20 years for criminal confinement. And the sentences were to be concurrent.
Okay.
Which means
6 years.
So 60 total, not 80.
Yeah, 60 with 20 of those 60s towards it, yeah.
Okay. So that was in 92. She was released on September 5th of 2019.
Oh, wow.
I know. So what would that be? 02? Not even 20 years.
92. Yeah.
Or 12.
20 years.
Okay,
yeah.
so
92, 02,
7 years.
12, 22 would be 30. Minus 3 is 27.
So 27 years. Which just isn't enough. And this girl's a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a twist. I will tell you about the twist.
Okay.
But let's talk about Lori, who was also very, very harsh. She pled guilty to murder and received a 60-year sentence. She was released in January of 2018. So she was released before Melinda.
Years. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hope tried to get less of a sentence because she tried to say that she didn't want to participate. She only did because she was afraid.
Right.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, they didn't fall for it. She got 60 years, but it was later reduced, and she was released in April of 2006.
So 14 years.
Yeah, she served approximately 14 years. And then Toni Lawrence, the one that
stayed in the car.
Yeah. She pled guilty to criminal confinement and received a 20-year sentence. She was released in December of 2000.
8 years.
So, yeah. So, the mother of Shanda, this is the twist. And this is what gives me a little hope. She was completely livid that these girls were getting out, especially Melinda.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. After they murdered Shanda, this was what I was saying about Amanda.
Yeah.
Melinda told Amanda what they did and showed her the bloody trunk. And Amanda didn't tell anybody. And Amanda didn't come to the
police or
the
funeral or the hearing or any of it.
She didn't give a shit. It was her fault, basically, that this girl suffered the way she did and was tortured by...
No, it's not her fault because,
I don't mean it was her fault, but I mean it's because of her that she was in Melinda's eyes.
Dating Shanda, you would think at the bare minimum she would at least be sad that this person she liked was
The parents said
tortured.
She was smug, and she was. She didn't really care about her. She was just using her as a notch.
Yeah.
What do they call that? A notch on your headboard?
Yeah, notch on your belt.
And they had...
Notch on your headboard, either way.
They had exchanged notes that suggested that there had been sexual activity. So, she was just like, oh, I got this girl, I popped her cherry.
Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, Shanda's mother was pissed that these girls were not going to serve adult sentences.
Yeah.
And, that was a hard thing to deal with over the years, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
She couldn't get over it. She couldn't forgive the girls and move on. Everybody kept saying, you have to learn to forgive. That's the only way. You're not forgiving is hurting you, not them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Melinda gets involved in the therapy dog training rehabilitation for prisoners, where you become a therapy dog trainer and give the dog away to people that need therapy dogs.
Okay.
And she's very good at this. And she wants to help people, and she's changing. It's going to make me cry.
Oh, you're getting upset. Okay.
She's changing, and you wouldn't think so. And they tried to say, give her a lighter sentence because look at how she was raised and look at all the things she went through. And she did. But they said, nope, we don't care.
Yeah. Plenty of people who are abused don't go on to abuse people. Yeah.
But this is something that I've wrestled with. Like, if it were a family member of mine, could I forgive? And I always said, yes, I could when I was younger. But the older I get, the more I say, no, fuck that person.
Yeah.
You know, you took a life from me that meant something. So why do you get life?
Yeah.
But then there's the what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Jesus.
Mom loves a hippie Jesus. Yes. Yeah.
So when I see that Melinda is trying to make a difference in people's lives, I feel like, okay, people can be rehabilitated. She was a young girl. She didn't have coping skills.
She was very young. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
And she's not just in prison trying to act like hot shit.
Or is she just trying to work the system and look, I'm doing good, let me out. You know, I don't know. I just always think people are manipulative. So I don't know. You don't know.
That's true. She could have been. But here's the extra special part. Shanda's mom decided to get, I'm going to cry my eyes out.
One of the dogs.
And have Melinda train it.
And help her. So that was like the full circle. Oh,
and
Mom.
She asked Melinda to do it, and Melinda agreed. And trained her dog for her. So...
Well, okay.
That's there precious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for her mother to allow that to happen and let it heal her.
Yeah, I would say that's about the only
and the
thing
mother
you could
actually,
do to, like...
When she found out that Melinda was doing this, it touched her. Where she was like, I think maybe I could forgive her now.
Well, if she was training dogs and dogs were comfortable around her and it was working, that would make you feel like there must be something good in this person. Because they always say, like, dogs can sense when a person's not right. They're not comfortable around them.
Yeah, and Melinda was really good at it.
So that would make me feel a little bit like, well, like, if dogs like you, maybe there's something worthwhile
That's
there.
what the mother thought.
Yeah, I could see that. I can absolutely see that. And a lot of people like animals more than they like humans. I get it, but I also don't. But, like, a lot of people, like, donate to animal shelters and take in strays, but, like, have never donated to, like, St. Jude's. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I would think, like, before I give a fuck about a dog, I'm going to make sure that, like, childhood cancer is taken care of. And that's not to say completely I don't care about dogs, but in my mind, I just, I cannot prioritize it in the same kind of way.
Okay.
I get people, like, whatever. Like, I get it. Like, Grandma's that way.
Oh, I know.
Grandma would literally go hungry, feeding stray cats and not feeding herself. You know? And I'm like, the cats are cats. Let them catch birds. They're fucking animals. Let them be, like, they'll figure it out or they won't, whatever. But that's animals, you know? Like,
yes.
So I'm a little different, but most people are that way. Like, that would speak to them and that would touch them. And I bet, like, there was probably no other way to, like, completely, and I won't say heal because I don't think you can heal it, but, like, seriously help that wound.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she was just stuck. This helped her move forward.
Yeah, I don't know. How could you not be stuck? I think I'm going to be fucking stuck after hearing this story. Like...
So you hadn't heard this story before?
I don't think so. None of that. Like, I've heard, like, girls bullying and, like, twisted love affair, teenage tales, but that one's nothing that you said rang a bell. So, yeah, it's just awful. And I mean, I guess they all were young. Your brain's not done growing till you're in your 20s.
That's true.
So you hope that there is a rehabilitation factor. And, we did that other one on that little girl who was 10 that had killed toddlers.
Yes.
And she got better.
Mary Bell, I think her name was.
And she just needed help. She just needed to be rehabilitated and loved and taught. And once she was taught, she got better. You know what I mean? Like, So I hate to say, like, I guess, oh, now I'm going to cry. Like, what's the point in living in this world if there's no hope that you can be rehabilitated and that, but like I've said this about my own life, like, people make mistakes, but Jesus Christ, you shouldn't have to completely break someone to realize that it was wrong. Let alone, in this case, you shouldn't have to fucking do what you did and torture and kill and all of this. Why do you need rehabilitated from that? Like, what? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm so glad you could change.
But you did this thing.
But why would it, how did the fuck did it ever get there? Like, I don't know.
I know, it's hard. It's, what's the word? A dichotomy? It's, you can see both sides of it. It's got two totally different sides, you know? Yeah. And you can feel both ways about it.
Yeah.
Which is,
like,
dialectical.
Like, a part of me is like, I don't know, they should have just been euthanized right then. Like, we don't need you. We're good on a society without you.
Well, that's what I would have wanted, you know?
But is that the right way to, is that completely an emotional response? Is that correct?
Yeah, they were teens.
Do you wait around to see if they can be rehabilitated? And then what happens? You think you rehabilitated, you let them out, they do it again. Like, it's a flip of the coin. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I certainly am not going to sit here and claim to know which way is right. I don't. None of us do, which is why there's so many different ethical theorists and different laws. We have county laws, we have state laws, we have federal law. We can't even fucking sync up because we can't agree what we think is just.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was my case for the day. That's all I've got.
What a case. That might be the worst one I think you've ever told me. That's a bold statement. That might be the worst one you've told me so far. And I've cried at other cases. Like, we've had terrible cases for sure, but that one's like, no, you've had some other ones though with great detail that I definitely understood. And, you know, you don't have to know a whole lot about a child to know that a child being murdered is fucking awful, you know?
That's true.
So, that's an awful fucking case.
It is.
Well, I'm glad that the mother's been able to find, you know,
some peace.
Mm-hmm. At least some. So
if you've stuck with us this far, let's leave a purple heart for little Shanda Sharer. I'm sorry, Shanda Sharer.
And, yeah, if you've stuck it out, I'm sorry. And, but thanks for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. And yeah, I guess that's it, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.